If you went 2-0 this weekend, clap your hands. If you went 2-0 this weekend, clap your hands. If you went undefeated, then you are a super genius. If you went undefeated, clap your hands. Well, I guess I do know nothing, because I was the only one of all the experts to pick both the San Francisco 49ers and the Baltimore Ravens to advance to Super Bowl 47. I picked it, and I know nothing. The first game I want to talk about is the one that's more or less fresh in everybody's mind. That's Patriots versus Ravens. 3 things that I said in this game would happen held up. And that Anquan Boldin would be tough to match up with, because as soon as Aqib Talib went out, that was it for New England. If he would have stayed in the whole game, it would have been a different story. But again, Anquan Boldin, I think it was Phil Simms said it best, that Anquan Boldin's like a tight end playing at wide receiver. And he just dominated any of those mismatches. He did. Any of those matchups against the Patriots corners and safeties, he just destroyed them because he's so big. I mean, I think one of the Cardinals radio announcers once said it whenever he was playing in Arizona. He could run through a landslide in flip-flops, you know. But the other 2 things I wanted to say is that the up-the-middle pressure on Tom Brady would work. Again, Houston, Pittsburgh, the Jets, the Cowboys. The only time those teams have success against New England, and it's rare, is when they can blitz him up the middle. And Haloti Ngata and those guys for Baltimore did that in abundance. How many times was Brady almost thrown for, up the middle for like a 10-yard loss? Or how many times did it almost look like he was going to get intentional grounding? Because he couldn't step up in the pocket and hit his targets. And the other thing, this defense has been playing unbelievable. It's almost as if this defense went back in time to the year 2000. And I say that because this Patriots offense outscored the next closest offense this year by 100 points. For those of you not keeping score, I mean, that's preposterous. I'm pretty sure that's in the realm of 8 or 9 more points per game that the Patriots score than everybody else. .25, my math is correct. Yes, 6.25 points more per game than everybody else. The 3rd highest total in league history, behind the 2011 Packers and the 2007 Patriots. And this team was shut out in the second half and literally could not move the football in the second half. And anytime it did get a drive, interception. I'll tell you right now, this Ravens defense, the defense, not the special teams, which counts field goals and returns, has given up in this postseason 28 points in 3 games. That's less than 10 points per game. The defense is playing lights out. And you look at the players that they went up against. The more than likely Rookie of the Year in Andrew Luck, who had one of the best rookie seasons a quarterback ever had, kept him from a touchdown. They made Peyton Manning look like an old man in Denver, the 4-time, maybe 5-time MVP. And look what they did to the 2-time MVP Tom Brady up in Foxborough. They just shut him down. They just shut them down. Now look, this game, for me as a Steeler fan, living in the heart of Steeler Nation in Pittsburgh. Now, for anybody who knows me, they know that I hate the Ravens and I hate the Patriots just as much as the next guy. And here's my reaction when people ask me who wanted to win this game. The common fair weather fan that just follows the Steelers and really doesn't know football, like several people that I know. I'll just put it this way. They're probably like, oh, I hope both teams win, or, this or that stupid thing, I hope for a tie or whatever. I wanted Baltimore to win. Because A, Brett Kiesel, Steeler defensive end, wanted them to win. And number 2, think of it, what would you rather have? Ray Lewis and the Ravens go out on top, Ray Lewis gets the Super Bowl ring, retires, and he's got 2 rings. It's not like his legacy's improved that much by that 2nd ring, because his teammates have carried him to that 2nd ring. Emotionally, yes, he's been the linchpin for that team. But more or less, he has been carrying that team. Mentally, but they've been carrying him on the field. Versus New England, who, if Brady and Belichick were to win, would tie us with 4 rings by coaching a quarterback, a.k.a. Nolan Bradshaw. I didn't want that. Hell no. I was tired of people saying Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time, when clearly he isn't. Because in a game like this, when you're playing an opponent like this, you have to step up and make those plays. And Brady didn't do that. It proved the same things you can't overlook coming out of college. He was slow. He still is. And, he's scrawny. A lot of things, particularly the fact that he's slow and he's not very mobile in the pocket. May have been 3-4 years ago, not now. If that O-line gets in protection, he can just tear you up all day. If not, then it's just you have your chances against him. Now, Baltimore, I have to give a ton of credit to Joe Flacco. I have ripped Joe Flacco something fierce. Since I've started doing my radio shows. But I've got to say, he is absolutely the number one reason the Ravens are in the Super Bowl. You can say the defense is playing well. You can say the Ray Lewis emotional lift. You can say the offensive line and Ray Rice are playing well. But Joe Flacco, this postseason, has been on fire. In this game, 21 of 36 for 240 yards. Passer rating of 106.2. And you got Brady, the supposed greatest of all time by the experts, goes 29 of 54 for 320, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. Passer rating pretty much half of what Flacco did. So if you break it down, this postseason, Joe Flacco has 8 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Literally, they could do no wrong in the second half. The Ravens outscored them 21-0. And that game never was a game again. It really wasn't. I mean, you look at the recap for that game. It was just phenomenal how much Baltimore was able to not only shut New England down, but put up the points on offense needed to take the game and needed to take the AFC title. Joe Flacco, this postseason, 284 passing yards a game, 8 touchdowns, no picks. Passing attempts, 31 passing attempts per game. It's just been phenomenal. And believe me, I hate the Ravens as much as the next guy, but I gotta tip my hat. I'm not gonna be like a lot of Steeler fans. Listen, I'm just gonna go on record in saying this: is that I love being a Steeler fan. I think Steeler fans are some of the best fans in sports. However, there are times they are a little bit nauseating, only because of the fact that they don't respect other teams. Let me tell you something. I respect the hell out of the Ravens. They've done what I didn't think they would do under Flacco and make a Super Bowl. They've done it. I gotta tip my hat. But more on this game real quick before I, wrap it up. I just wanted to say that I was really, really surprised in this game, more or less on the impact that the loss of Rob Gronkowski had. I really was. I thought that Gronk's loss, because this Patriots team averages just like a point less per game when he's not playing than when he does. I thought for sure Gronkowski's absence wouldn't necessarily hinder the team. I didn't think they put up like 34 points on Baltimore. I didn't think they'd do that. But I thought they'd put up at least 20. I thought they'd put up more than that. I was stunned to see how poorly this Patriots offense performed without Gronk. To put in a 13-point performance when he didn't score again after halftime, not a very impressive way to end your season. I mean, this is not what I'm used to seeing out of a Bill Belichick-led team. Usually, Belichick-led teams are very good at halftime at making adjustments and coming out in the second half and making comebacks. Under Brady, they've been phenomenal at that in how many years they've been together. But this Patriots team, I don't want to say went in a tank, but they pretty much just fell apart mentally. They just did not. It's almost like the team that went in the locker room didn't come back out. And Gronk not being there was a huge mismatch the Ravens avoided. And it was something that I said, it would help Baltimore, but I didn't think that Baltimore's defense would hold down New England as much as they did. I said the final would be 30-27, but it was 28-13. I'm still stunned sitting here how badly New England performed on the offensive side of football. And I think a lot of the blame does go to Belichick. I do. Because they were getting mismatches with guys like Welker and guys like Danny Woodhead. They were. And they didn't keep exploiting them. They kept trying to go to Hernandez and kept trying to go to Lloyd when those little routes that were just cutting up the Ravens on the inside were working pretty well before the half. And they went away from them in the second half. And Baltimore just goes from strength to strength, drives down the field for 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdown passes from Flacco, and then 30 minutes later they're in the big game. But, I have to say that the Ravens have definitely stepped up as a team. But, I think I can take satisfaction in the fact that my Steelers beat the Ravens in Baltimore with the Steelers had a backup quarterback. I'll take a little satisfaction from that. But, yeah. Again, congrats to Baltimore. They played better. They deserve this game. They've been the best team in the AFC throughout the playoffs. Ray Lewis emotionally has been the linchpin for that team to help them, guide them emotionally. And they deserve everything they've gotten so far. All right, I'll be back shortly with the Niners and the Falcons.